April 19th, 1775. There was a shot that was heard around the world, but it took 6 weeks for the world to actually hear it. That was the start of the American Revolution. Today there is another revolution in progress, the digital age of communication. Hello, my name is Elizabeth Sauer, and today I'm going to discuss some of the communication challenges faced by today's corporate world. I will briefly review the history of corporate communications, how and why they changed, and the challenges corporations face in today's world. The majority of corporate communication was mostly internal. Meetings were held in person. Written communications were letters and memos. When the telegraph arrived, messages were able to be sent in a faster manner, but it was a costly expense. In the 1800s, newspapers, radios, and television enabled companies to expand their advertising communications to more people. Even though the first mechanical computer was actually built in the 1940s, it would not be a common tool in office communications until the 1970s. Companies sent and received their first spam in the 1980s through the fax machine. The internet became an office buzzword in the 1980s. And of course, cell phones stopped being bricks and became more popular in the 1990s. With the arrival of laptops and smaller, more affordable desktops, the digital age had truly begun. Corporate communications started using email instead of written memos, and the arrival of smartphones brought on the first wave of social media. In the early 2000s, companies started using their own intranets. Tablets replaced laptops, and the next wave of social media came. Innovations such as Link, FaceTime, and Skype now allow corporate communications to have virtual employees, virtual offices, and virtual meetings. The world has become a smaller community. The market has filled with even more competition. The combination of social networks like Facebook and Twitter, and even smarter phones, has given people a voice that can be heard by the world within seconds. Historically, until the 1970s, communications was responsible for public relations, the part of the organization that dealt with the press. But now, corporate communications is defined as a management function that offers a framework for the effective coordination of all external and internal communication, with the overall purpose of establishing and maintaining favorable reputations with stakeholder groups upon which the organization is dependent. With all of the digital changes in communications, the department had to evolve in order to meet the challenges facing corporations today. Now we will review some of the challenges a corporation communications department faces on a daily basis. Social media, branding, new technology and training, establishing and maintaining a corporate communication team. Social media can mean instant disaster because it is a medium that can reach a large number of people instantaneously. With over 527 million people in Facebook alone, the fallout from a few poor reviews can have significant ramifications. Because these consequences are so severe, social media has to be maintained on a regular basis. Therefore, most corporations have to have some sort of presence on the major social media accounts. Statistically, brand loyalty is shrinking. It is now incumbent upon the corporate communications team to successfully travel the social media sites and any other internet sites to address any questions or negative comments that may have been posted. These comments must be addressed in a timely manner. It is also up to the communications team to extol the corporation's humanitarian activities and explain their corporate responsibility endeavors. This would be to improve their customers' goodwill towards the corporation, which may affect the customer's decision when it comes time to purchase products. Now that the digital age has brought the global market closer, the corporate employees may need diversity training to help them understand the difference in cultures that might exist. New innovations are happening on a daily basis, so software and hardware must be ready for the updates that are on their way. It is also incumbent upon the communication team to enlighten the company's employees regarding ill-conceived practical jokes at the company and YouTube. As we move along in this digital age, it seems the clock no longer matters. The time expectation of a return email is no longer a business day, but merely a matter of minutes. Companies are now extending their hours. Some companies have to decide where to draw that line, or even if there is to be a line. It will be up to communication team to develop a loyal following. This is done by posting and responding on blogs, chats, and social media, even reposting positive third-party posts. Every corporation at one time or another will need to have a crisis strategic management plan of action. Due to the unpredictable nature of the Internet, grievances must be answered as soon as possible. These strategic plans are viable options, a positive response that has been carefully thought through prior to a crisis event. This response for critical issues must happen in such a time period that often it is not possible to completely anticipate all of the consequences of a statement made on the fly. This gives an opportunity for a thoughtful and corrective action to be put in place as needed. In conclusion, corporate communication teams need to have a strategic plan for a crisis event, and they need to try to stay ahead of the technology curve. They need to build a corporate brand and use social media to the advantage of the corporation. Thank you for your time and consideration.